All right,
and
I'm going to refill my coffee.
there's a 20-second delay
Oh,
too,
no,
so
that's
that's kind of a weird thing that you'll notice.
Okay.
Um, so everyone, good morning. I know y'all are thinking, did I tune into the right show? There's actually a pretty face on the screen. What the hell? So I'd like to introduce you guys to uh, to Leah Hess. She lives here in town. She's the better half of Collins, who you'll probably see if the little baby makes her way back in here again.
Yes. I was saying I have a 2-year-old, so pardon if the door opens and a screaming 2-year-old comes running in. So,
He's already done that with no clothes on, so
yes. I was like, please put clothes, put pants on him or something. Come on.
that was so. Her. So I don't know if you want to tell us who you are, what you do, and then I'll tell you what. So we met. So John, I can't think of John's last name. Sent me an email. I don't know, a little over a year ago. Saying, and folks, I've been telling y'all this. Would you be interested in doing a local meetup? I'm like, sure, man. I'm not the greatest organizer, but I'll talk about it. And so it used to be every month, and it's probably every other month now. And you guys came to, I think, to the second. Maybe Collins came by himself to the first one. We were out at
Yeah.
out in Madison. It's like 3 of us,
Yeah.
and there's like 7 or 8 people show up. But that's where I met you guys, and you guys. So you started selling in college, right? Like all the
Yeah. Well,
rest.
I've been reselling for years now. Years, decades. Decades now.
Oh, she's still really young.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you.
You wanna be old? Talk to me and Collins. Todd's the really old guy. If we want old, we'll bring Tom on here.
There we
yep.
go.
Tom
No,
is not as old as Todd, but Tom acts like 100 years older.
yes, yes, yes. Yeah, no, we met. Yeah, he's outside the door screaming. I can hear
I heard about that.
him. He was trying to do the doorknob. So yeah, we met a little over like what it's been a year now or a little over a year now. I can it's
I love
all
it.
yeah, and thankfully John is a lot more organized than us. I think we're taking a break because of the holidays. With
We
all the
are.
holiday stuff, it's a little bit harder. But I love the local meetup because being a reseller can be a little bit of a lonely game. When we're all online, we're in our little world working. We have fun things like this, but we don't get to see each other in person. So it is quite nice to get together and say, hey, who are you and how's it going? And especially because most of my friends and family don't understand my business, even though I've been doing this, full time for probably a decade now. So people don't realize that.
There you go, Lag. You have to make it official. You have to name your boxer. Sorry, you probably don't know the joke, but so Josh Galt's in the chat. He is a YouTuber. He does showing at lunch. Uh, he's Canadian, but he's been complaining about and you know it. You've been on eBay as long as I have. Sellers come on there and they will ship everything in just complete shit. They'll ship it in pizza boxes, and people were telling him we'll spray paint pizza boxes. So I labeled this box fixer from Walmart, and I took a thing of honey buns and made a short video of how to fix a box so you can ship it in honey buns. I made a mistake though. I didn't include a honey bun in there for customer service, which was terrible. But
No, you ate it. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I
so
do
you
ship I do ship things in diaper boxes and I don't fix it. I just like you're getting a diaper box. I don't care.
so you started on eBay. You selling during college, right?
Yeah, started selling on this was eBay way back when. It was first eBay. So buying and selling textbooks only because I'm super cheap and I didn't want to spend $200 for a textbook. So I buying and selling textbooks and that type of thing. And then when I moved here, I'm from Texas. So howdy, my Texans out there. Hello, Todd. um, I know if you're from Texas, you're born and bred. I don't care how long it's been since you've lived there. You're from Texas. So, and when I moved here to North Alabama, I did not know a soul, and so I started doing. There's a lot of auction houses around here. I don't know if you've gone to a lot of those, but they're very addicting.
They're not as many as there were. Those have gone. A lot of them have gone online now.
Yeah, I think with COVID, it kind of pushed them over there. But that was my Saturday evening. Would go to auction houses and then buy furniture, and I would sell locally, Craigslist and sell locally on furniture. And then I started buying loads of furniture and selling them. and did that for many, many years. But then the shipping costs just skyrocketed very quickly, and just made it basically impossible for me to do that anymore. So I made the flip. I had always sold on eBay here and there, but then made the flip to clothing. So I mainly focus on apparel, men's, women's, kids. I do small home goods, things like that. And I do true overstock. So I do new overstock on those items.
Somewhere in this, you ran into a distinguished gentleman. I'm not going to call him older. I'll just call him distinguished. And folks, Leah talks a lot, but she holds nothing to her husband. He is a character.
I thought I was an extrovert until I met him, and I'm like, oh, I'm not an extrovert. Never mind.
I am at an estate sale the other day, and I'm looking in the kitchen, and I hear a voice go, "Are you just going to buy it all? Have you found anything great today?" And I turn around, and he's looming over me. I'm like, man, do I run into you like every other week at estate sales? So you meet this guy who sees things differently. He has a different view of the world. He has a more of a planner, more of an idea guy.
He's the idea guy. I'm the worker bee, sit down, organize, go, go, go. He's the idea guy.
And so he sees his visionary skills. I mean, he's very good at it from what I know of him. So he sees what you're doing and goes, we can make this bigger. We can make this, we can organize, because he tells me the same thing. And I'm like, I'm going to get there. And so that ended up with you guys. So Binin, under her name, Binin, they have an app in the App Store. Is it in both app stores?
It is Android and iPhone. Apple, yeah.
So if you need something to keep track of your inventory, they have a free 30-day trial that you can see if it works for you. We'll get her to talk about that. So they had somebody develop that, and then she was live Monday for how long? 5 hours selling and talking.
Yeah. So someone, James out there, made a comment. I don't have a Southern drawl. I don't have a Southern drawl right now because so we got a new load in Monday. So I mainly sell on Poshmark now. I started on eBay. I still do on eBay, but I mainly sell on Poshmark. And we did
tell them by load, you mean 26 pallets.
Yeah, 20, like a tractor trailer load, pull up, dump it on. Yeah, it's this one was a small load. It was only 6,000 units. 2 weeks ago, we got a bigger load that was 18,600 units. So it was not as bad. But so we went live. We did a live, our live auction. We do a marathon one. So I talked for 5.5 hours straight, nonstop, no pee breaks, no lunch breaks, standing in the cold warehouse and talk for 5.5 hours. So my voice is completely shot today.
Yeah. So that's where I was trying just to tell them why you have it says paperclip 47.
Yes.
I'm like, when I ran into you guys last week, because when I went to pick up the coffee maker, and when I went down to south of town, there's nobody at your warehouse. When I drove back, evidently Collins was in the other building. I couldn't see his truck. When I come back, I can see his truck, so I pull in. And so we were talking, and that's how we got the idea. Hey, come tell. I'm like, what's the website again? She's like, Paperclip 47. I'm like, yeah, that makes no sense. And she's like, sure it does. Operation Paperclip brought Braun to Alabama, and if you know anything about Alabama,
Germany to Texas, and Texas to Alabama. And I'm from Texas, so there's a little story there. It makes sense.
And so, and then if you take our license plates, the first 5 numbers of 1 through 5 are the most populated counties in the state when they first made these. It's not now, because Huntsville would be in those. And then it's alphabetical order for the other 62. And Madison County follows this number of counties. So all the Huntsville license plates have 47 on them. So that's how she came up with. But so check out Paperclip 47. We'll talk about a reseller lot. You sell reseller lots over there, and you folks are not looking about killing. You look at the prices of the lots and go. There's tons of room for you to make lots of money on those lots.
Yeah, it's probably 10, depending on what size, because we have different sizes. We have little starter lots if you just want to check it out. We have bigger lots, and by lots we mean more. You're going to get boxes. So I made these when I was doing these live auctions with Poshmark. So we sell 5-pound reseller boxes on Poshmark in our live auctions, because 5 pounds is the maximum that you can ship on Poshmark. So they're little bitty boxes. They might have, 4 to 7 items for men's and women's, and maybe up to 15 items for kids stuff. So they're just little bitty boxes. And so we really promoted to other resellers. And a lot of people were saying, well, I need more than just these little boxes. So that's where we started selling on our website. But especially for smaller resellers, they can't get a truckload of inventory. You have to have a forklift and a loading dock, and you have to have the space for 26 pallets, and the inventory management of it, and a team, and go. And so that's when we started reselling to smaller resellers, in the sense that you're going to get a 30, 40, 70 pound box delivered by UPS or FedEx to your door. And so we made it easy that way. And then, because I'm the one who developed the website and I'm an English major and not a techie person, I couldn't figure out shipping. So I just made, like, you have to have shipping to different zip codes and all that stuff. I couldn't figure that out. So I just made it a flat $5 shipping. I was like, whatever, we're just going to make $5 shipping for everybody, because I can't figure out the shipping. I know it wasn't very smart on my part, because this was several years ago, and now shipping's gone out the wazoo. Yeah. So I probably need to change that. But so yeah, we did that, and you can choose, women's lots or men's lots, kids lots. We have pet, we have holiday. We have, you can do a mixed lot, which the mixed lots are a better deal. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a choices. And they are just mixed sizes, but on the women's lots, you could do like smaller sizes or plus sizes. So you can kind of, choose between those two, depending on if you do have, I know some people are a little more specific on what they sell there, but.
So a lot of you are not going to like this. You really don't do YouTube. You guys do Instagram a ton. You're very much more invested in Instagram, so you need to follow Binin app and Paperclip 47. You have two of them over on Instagram, correct?
We do, just because we have. So Binin is our inventory app that we created, and I don't know if you want me to go on that one. If you want me, we have like 50 hats, so it's one of those things that I jump around on. But yeah, so we created an inventory app about almost 2 years ago now, 1.5 years. And that was because as a reseller, I struggled to keep track of my inventory. And as y'all know, I mean, you have to turn around and ship, in a day, in 24 hours, in 48 hours, and you start getting pinged if you don't ship it fast enough. And, when you're like the bearded picker and you have bigger items, it's kind of easy to see that coffee pot. When it sells, you can find it. But when you're selling clothing and jewelry and smaller stuff, and I probably have easily 100,000 items, then where do you listed something 2 years ago and it sells, you're like, oh crap, I got to find that thing and I got to run around.
So you get stuff spread out over 3 buildings. And so
Yes, it is a little crazy. It is, we call it crazy. I call it crazy pants, and my coworker calls it bananas. It is, we're usually running. So that's why we created Binin, because I needed something made for resellers. Most of the inventory apps are made for big manufacturing companies, or really complicated, or retail, and it had a lot of features I didn't need. It's like, I just need something that can tell me where my stuff is so I can find it quickly and ship it fast. And that's why we created it.
I want it on my phone, so as I've carried it around, I can find it.
Exactly. I can walk around. I can do my inventory in my warehouse. I can answer people. I'm in the Chick-fil-A drive-through line in the morning, and I'm answering people's questions because I can, how many of these do you have? I'm like, hold on, let me find out. And I can find it real quickly. So, yeah, I did make so they're kind of like sister companies, Paperclip 47 and Binin. They're my sister companies. So I did a coupon code for y'all today, because we do it on for our VIPs. We have. It is, the coupon code is bearded, of course. How could it not be?
Some people consider me a VIP. Unlike the chat over there, they just abuse me.
I know, they just beat you up over here.
Mike and James are just here to see how much grief they can cause me this morning. I give it back to them, so that's fair.
Yeah.
But, folks, the thing that excited me most about talking to Leah today is to show you the progression of where they are, and to have a vision for your business. Josh is talking about this in the daytime for lunch, and I keep getting Josh, I keep getting a question in my comments, who is Josh Galt? And I'm like, I thought everybody, Josh, so you're not as popular as I thought you were, because not everybody knows who you are. And, where are you going with your business? What are you doing? You guys, I've talked to Collins for I don't know. I was there an hour the other day, and it didn't seem like it. And
He will talk. He will talk. Yeah, you don't ever want to get cornered by him. He will like talk to you for hours. So
maybe in the future we'll have him on just to let him talk to you about how he sees ideas, because it is, because it takes both. So most of us are single entrepreneurs, and we have to be the one who does the upper level thinking. We have to be the worker bee. We have to do all this stuff. And you guys are very interesting that a team, and is a very, don't get me wrong, Collins works. When I was there, he was sorting freaking pallets that he's carrying on out there. But so you both work very hard, but you both have such different skills, and you know, from what I know of you guys, you maximize both of them, which is very nice.
yeah, I'm the worker bee. I put my head down and work, and I think if I didn't have him in my life, I would still just be doing kind of this as a side hustle hobby, working a full-time job somewhere else, and just my head down, go 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 go. He's the big picture person, and so he's the dreamer, and he sits here and goes, you know, we could do this full time. I'm like, how are we going to do this full time? And then, but the only thing is he comes up with these ideas, and he's like, go do it. I'm like, okay. You know, he came up with the idea of the app. You know, we should have our own inventory app. Okay. And then, you know, so but
So
he does
he was
push me
telling
out of
me,
my comfort zone.
he's like, look over here, look over here. He's like, we wouldn't, when we first started this, you couldn't find any of this, and I told Leah, if we just take the time to slow down and organize, I can increase our sales by so many %. And he says, and it was even more than what I thought we could do. And he's like, I'm going to force this on you, and it's going to do the same thing for you. I'm like, yeah, I'm the world's worst. So
I know we need to send like our entire Binin team. Like we just need to come jump on your stuff and get it organized, because it really does game change your business when you can find things fast, ship things fast. I mean, we were running around a warehouse, you know, trying to find we were going to make $1 on a t-shirt, and we wasted an hour finding it. It's like we made no money on it, but you have to do it or you start getting pinged by eBay and, you know, all the top rated sellers and all, you know, things like that. So
how do they find you on Poshmark if they want to look at your auctions?
Paperclip 47 is us. And I don't know how many of y'all out there are on Poshmark. I feel like I'm the lonely person here on Poshmark. Everybody's on eBay and Amazon.
I sold one thing on Poshmark this week.
My wife does this much on Poshmark, but she's on there. Yep.
Yay!
So Harlan's in the chat telling you hello this morning.
Hello everybody. I should send out my referral code. I don't know what the referral code is. I would have to. I don't know how I would. Do I send it to you? I don't have no idea. We should talk about that earlier.
or you on the side, if you click on the comments on the side, she's never used StreamYard.
I know. I'm over here.
Or you can send it to me.
Join the chat.
Yeah, join the chat. It might make you make an account though, or did it come up?
I'm trying to see if I can log in as myself. No. I have too many. Anyways, go ahead. I'm talking. I can talk and do. I'm very good at multitasking. I have a 2-year-old.
I'm trying to, but so I think I definitely want to. I'm on folks. So you can see the app and stuff. I'll do a bit. I'll go out to their place and do a video of just showing you how everything is set up. I need the one thing. I just need to start using it, and you need to build something like that in your process. And I think that's what a lot of people who are single, like me, I'm like, I know where I put stuff. I can remember it.
Yes.
But, yesterday I had to cancel a freaking Blu-ray player, a $70 Blu-ray player, because I can't find. I've been looking for it for 3 freaking days.
Yeah. That was me. I'm a very visual person. And so I could tell you, even having thousands of items, I can tell you exactly where they were. But it was when we were starting to grow, and then Colin started helping me, and he would get super frustrated because I would send him at that time to our storage where we had it. And I would say, okay, go down the 3rd row. It's the 2nd shelf. You see the blue box. And he's like, I can't find this. You know, he would get all frustrated. And then when I started hiring people to help me, I had things in a spreadsheet, but the spreadsheet would get all messed up because you had multiple people in it. You could, you know, it was just a mess that way. So That was one of the precepts. It's like, I can do it myself, but if you really wanted to take it to another level, or even just make yourself more efficient, is sitting down and doing the inventory. And I tell people all the time is organize yourself now, act bigger than you are. Because I know a lot of people are like, I'm small. This is just a little hobby for me. I don't need, to have a financial system. I don't need to have an inventory management system. But when you grow, then you have to go back. And that's what I did. I grew and then I went back and did my inventory. And that's where you're wasting all your time, because now you're doing thousands of items in your inventory. Whereas if I had just grown with it, would have made my life, so
a lot
much
of
better.
truth to the old fake it till you make it. And that's not a bad thing, folks. It's truly,
Yes.
And I'm at that point where it'd be very hard for me. But the problem is, Tactical Z says I use the custom SKU. So do I, but it's much more difficult to pull these things whenever if you had an app with a pull list and you're going through there with your location. I sell Amazon FBM a lot. That is much more difficult. There is no custom SKU on Amazon FBM. You can put it in a SKU label. There's no list, there's no nothing. And so Amazon FBM is a beast. And so that's where I really should be. I should really dedicate. My processes are just bad. And I think a lot of people are in my same boat. You get in the habit of, I can list this sitting here at the desk on Amazon without taking a picture of it and tell you what it is. And then to take the extra step of throwing it in an inventory system when I've already got the other thing in my hand. And
yes,
the problem is we don't see the fact that when I sell this in 3 weeks or 2 weeks or tomorrow, where did
I put it?
where did it go? Whenever you can hit a couple buttons on your phone when I'm at the building and it shows up. Because I forced myself to do like using any list of what I got to pick, but I have to enter them in so I'm doing the work. I'm doing the work on the back end instead of the front end. And folks, you're going to do the same thing. I need to just dedicate myself. That'll be my project for the first of the year. I'm going to dedicate myself to using it. And
we will come and we will swarm your life and take over and organize your life. We'll probably find things that you sold like a year ago and like, oh, that's where that is. I couldn't find it. I need to relist it.
That Blu-ray player will show up in the next week.
It's somewhere there. And and you have bigger stuff. For people who do, small things like jewelry and clothing, it's even harder because you try to find a pair of jeans and it's like, if you have 50 pairs of jeans, they all look the same. And then you're wasting your time looking at every single little tiny tag and things like that. So
Joanna, you're funny. Do you really just want me to crack my skull open and show you the gray matter in here? That would be the inventory system.
That is definitely true.
If I get a storage unit, I can get See, like the problem with the storage unit is I needed help putting stuff over there. So my son, I wouldn't have got it over there without him helping me carry the 8 trailer loads over there. I only put my hands on half of it. And so as I've been going through there, I have a visual image now of where most things are, but it is not organized. So Josh got a question. Does it import SKUs from eBay? Does Binin do any kind of imports?
Right. We could import from a spreadsheet. So if you already have a spreadsheet, we could import from that. This is just a little baby app. This is us. We use it every day. We have about 20 other users who are using it on Poshmark. This is our little bitty baby app. We just released it. So my hope is if we can get enough people using it, then we can take those, custom questions and, integrate it with QuickBooks, integrate it with eBay and all that integration and do it. But I purposely made it easy to use. I do joke. I say it's so easy, even Collins can use it. He is not a computer tech person at all. And so I'm like, if Collins can use it, then it's a success. Because I wanted to make it completely not complicated. You put stuff in, you take stuff out, and that's what it is. It's just an inventory system. It doesn't have fireworks. Little elves aren't going to come out and dance on your screen. It is just an inventory system. Because that's where I struggled was going out there and trying to find them and using other people's, and they were just way too complicated. And you're paying for that complication. Like, why am I paying for all these features I don't need? I just need to keep track of my inventory. And so that's what we did for that. Yeah.
And so we, I tell you folks a lot, find a way to sell stuff and find places. Leah and is a great example of started on eBay, still sells on eBay, went to Poshmark. Poshmark is now better for them than, so they're taking advantage. They went to Whatnot because they wanted to do live to sell more bulk. And then Poshmark said, hey, let's do live. And so you've adopted Poshmark Live. Is that where you sell the bulk of your stuff? Is
We do.
live
So
bulk?
my kind of transition. So I've been an eBay user for 20 years now. I love it when I call customer service and you're getting somebody and I'm like, look how long I've been on there. Just like move on. I know what I'm talking about, And so yeah, and I didn't want to move from eBay. I kept having people tell me like, oh, this Poshmark thing. And I'm like, I don't have time. I don't really want to do it. I have plenty of business on eBay. And this is when I was working other jobs and stuff. So easy Collins can use it. That is definitely.
Yeah, Harlan is looking out for you.
Thank you. I should trademark that. And so I finally was like, fine, I'll get on Poshmark. You'll kind of be my little extra one just to put some other things on there. And it really took off. I know a lot of people complain about Poshmark because their fees are higher, and they're definitely higher as a flat rate fee, but I like them. They handle the customer service side a lot better. For me, I feel like they treat their sellers better than an eBay and some of the other sites because gosh, eBay, I just feel like they just pound you into the ground on, accept free returns and, all these things like that. And you make one mistake and they beat you up. Whereas Poshmark, because they handle the shipping, they do the shipping labels and they handle the shipping side for the buyer standpoint, that if an item gets lost, they completely handle it. I don't have to contact the post office. I'm not having to refund the buyer. They just refund both parties. If an item gets damaged, they just refund both parties and they handle that. I don't have to deal with it. If I mess up, like I send someone the wrong item, they handle it. They send me, they send the buyer a shipping label to flip them and all that stuff. So to me, that extra 5-8% sometimes is just a peace of mind and not having to deal with that is a lot.
But you're getting something for the extra cost versus the eBay now, which is the cost. I would tell you that because the promoted listings are so damn necessary,
yes,
that Poshmark is probably cheaper now. Everything that I listed yesterday was a minimum of double digits suggested promoted. That's crazy.
Yes. And I like it is that they're very upfront on the fees. eBay, when you're listing an item, it doesn't tell you how much money you're going to make. It's like some mystery. You have to figure it out. Whereas on Poshmark, you sit there and say, I'm going to list this item for X, $20 is going to say right below it, you're going to make this. And you can play with that number. You're like, oh, I need to make more than that. Well, I need to raise it up. And you can sit there and play with that number.
And offers are the same thing. If I accept this offer, you're going to make this. I mean,
you're going to make this. It's very straightforward on that. So
it uncomplicates some of the craziness that newer sellers struggle with.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I still sell on eBay. There's certain things that do really well for us on eBay, so I keep it on there, especially items that are more than 5 pounds, because 5 pounds is that shipping limit for Poshmark. So if you have heavier items, then that's where I'm on Mercari or I'm on eBay for those. But especially now that Mercari has the UPS SurePost rate, so that has helped me do like 3 pound items over there. It keeps it a little bit cheaper. So, but yeah, I would say the majority of our sales are on Poshmark. And so when we started, we wanted to get into the live auction game. We started on a Whatnot because they were really the only ones doing it. Yep. And, but whenever you start cold on any sort of new site, it takes that time. You have to build those followings. So we were doing shows and we were doing decent on them, but we were super excited if we had 5 people in a room, like, wow, we hit 5 people in a room. And so they literally, that's what it was. We were super excited. And so only a few months later is when Poshmark came out with what they call Posh Live, which is their auctions. And we were one of the beta testers on it. And so we were able to get in really early, which was nice. And instantly, I remember the first time I did a Poshmark live auction, it was January of last year. And I called my mom and I said, can you create a Poshmark account and can you log in? Because it might just be me and you in a room. Like I need somebody else in this room please, please, please. And I think we showed up and we had 40 people in the room. So I was like, okay, never mind, go away. I'm good. You don't have to be here. So, but I already had
Good
a
old
following
mom.
because I had already been selling on Poshmark for so long. I already had that following. And so, and we were early in the testing. So that was nice. Now I say it's a little bit more of a crowded space. I mean, there could be hundreds of auctions going on at the same time. So it's a little bit more crowded, but we've created that following early. So it's what's really helped us. So
see, folks, she's telling you in a nice way a lot of the things we talk about on this channel. We talk about, you know, there's a new opportunity. We don't bitch about that it's something different. You know, if it's something that's in your wheelhouse, you adopt it early and get with it. You know, you're now when you look at Poshmark, you know, your auctions do very well. You were very first into it. You got a name early. I mean, you deliver customer service like you say you're going to do. It's a lot of the.
I think we do something a little bit unique in our auctions. I mean, most people, if you go to Poshmark and you look at the auctions, they have, you know, here's our little show, and they're selling one item at a time. They might have a theme. It might be dresses or men's clothes or whatever, and it's very more casual and a little bit more fun, and they're just la la la. Here's an item and talking about it. And y'all want me to run it? Okay, I'll run it. We're like intense. So we do 5-pound reseller boxes, which also, if y'all want to join, you know, jump on Poshmark. And I keep trying to put the link, but I don't think you can put URLs. It blocks me when I try to put a URL in the comment.
Hey, make a comment over there, and I'll make you a moderator, and I'll let you do it. So just just say hello over there, and I'll.
Okay. Hello, world.
Damn it, wrong button. View on YouTube.
And so, I don't know. I've just lost I'm like looped on my train of thought. You can tell I'm. Anyways, someone out there tell me what I was talking about. Just join Poshmark. So if you join Poshmark, so like we have an auction today at 3:00 Central Time. We do Mondays at noon, Thursdays at noon, and Wednesdays at 3. Wednesdays are a little bit longer auction. Okay, this is the referral link. If you want to join Poshmark, I think it gives you a free shipping or free $5 or $10 or whatever it is. But ours, so we do 5-pound reseller boxes. So we take a box, we fill it full. We have, you know, we do things by size. So we get a lot of people buying for themselves. So we'll have like a women's large, extra large box, and it's full of women's.
Show them what you're putting in the box, or they get random.
We do show them. So we set the box down. We show you, here's all the items that you're getting. And then we start the auction off at $5. And it is a risk. I mean, we had a box on Monday sell for $5. We have some boxes that sell for $11. We have some boxes that sell for $45. You know, it's just kind of, it depends on who's in the room and who wants it. But so ours are a little bit different, you know, a little bit more intense. We're very go, 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 because we have a lot of inventory that we try to push in a very, very short amount of time, because I do not want to be talking for 5.5 hours every day, or I will have zero voice for that. So
don't be confused when you look on there. Collins is not a lady. You have your employee / other half is with you, not Collins.
Yes, no, I have a great team. I have 2 amazing girls that work with me. So Kayla is someone I stole from the hospitality industry, and she was super high up here in town and in fine dining and running restaurants and just living her best life. And then COVID happened and kind of kicked her in the butt on that one. And then during COVID, she actually had, I mean, her daughter, who's now 3.5, was born February 2020. So she has a baby early in COVID. And so trying to get back into the hospitality industry with children is, you know, she now has 2, is hard. You work nights, you work weekends, you work holidays. And so she just put out on Facebook, hey, I'm looking for a job.
She has 1 kid or 2.
She just had another baby.
Because she was pregnant when we met y'all.
Yes.
So that was the second. I'm about to say it had been since 2020. God, time flies.
You're like, did I lose a couple years? So yeah, and what's awesome about her finding someone, you know, trying to find someone when you're looking for a business partner or someone to work with, is having, you know, I'm organized in a brain way. Like I'm really good with organizing computers. I'm good at organizing inventory. She's like from that hospitality side of things, she's like crazy organized. Like she's in there, she'll just all of a sudden put her hair back in a bun and just like organize the warehouse. And you come in, you're like, whoa, what happened here? You know? So it's nice to have someone that kind of has different talents than you so you could even out. And then we have Lexi. So she is my high schooler. And she comes in and she has like learned so fast. So she runs our auctions. We put her in front of the camera every now and then, and we're usually like, let's do a box right now. And so she'll come pop up. Everyone thinks she's my daughter. They're like, oh, it's your daughter. I'm like, no, she's just a really good friend. So her family goes to our church.
That's what I met the other day, right? I met her the other day.
Met Lexi. Yeah. And she's, you know, it's really fun to see like a budding entrepreneur because she's 17, so she's starting to figure out like, where do I want to go to college? What do I want to do with my life? And really introducing her to this world of like, you can own your own business, and kind of teaching her the inner ropes of owning a business. And you can see those little wheels. And those are those skills, like even if she goes off and she goes to college and gets a corporate job forever, it's always nice to have in your back pocket of how to run your own business, because people think it's easy. When people say like, I want to start my business because I want to work when I want to and I want to go on all these vacations, like that never happens.
That's why you gotta love it, folks, because you work more, but our happiness. But you guys do set your own, you know, you because of children and those kind of things. You know, do all you start at 3:00 all your auctions start at 3, or the different times?
We do Monday and Thursday we do noon. We call it our lunch power hour, so noon Central Time. And we do those. Those are a little bit shorter. I say an hour, but it's like an hour and a half. And we take requests on those. So you can pop in. You can say like, oh, I want you to run that men's box. Great, we run it and we do it. We move on. Our Wednesday shows are at 3 p.m. Central Time. It's a little bit longer, and so those we don't take requests. We just do them in order. You can pre-see them, so you can do them in order, and
Right.
you know, just chill and hang out and that type of thing. And we do those over and over again. But yeah, 3, and then we have these ones like we did on this past Monday, because we got a new load in. We just did a marathon one, and we just live unboxed as we pulled stuff off the truck. We made a box and auctioned it, and just over and over and over again. And those are really good to get into because we haven't really even put eyes on it. So I'm like, I don't even know what this is. And I could have been like a $200 item, like $5, let's go. And we just auctioned it off. So
Because y'all auction everything off. Very rarely do you list individual unless they're larger, right?
no. So since we started doing 3 auctions a week, we just physically don't have the time to list as much. But I tell people we're resellers too. So you go to my Poshmark closet, I have thousands of items listed there. I have probably about 200 on eBay. I just don't push as much on eBay. I have the basic store and stuff like that. I used to have the bigger one, and I finally downgraded. I was like, why am I paying for this? I'm not listing as much on there. And like you said, all of a sudden it's those little hidden fees, like, oh, it's an eBay store, so you're paying a little bit more and things like that. So,
And I was talking to Collins because you know he was visioning what he helping me see what I about my processes, and I'm looking around and I'm like, you've got so much stuff here, this Amazon FBA, that you could get out of this warehouse, never see again, and sell on Amazon and be done. So
yeah.
you know, just because you run into sellers that are, you know, sell more stuff than you know, they made apps, they sell different, doesn't mean that, you know, I tell people all the time, you got the people around you, you know, you gotta learn from them, you gotta build from them, but you can contribute as well. My experience with them, because you guys have a bunch of those monster truck big square boxes. And I
Yeah.
was looking at those, I'm like, why are those sitting here? You know how I was telling Collins, I'm like, on Amazon, you could palletize those half pallets you've got, send them to Amazon, never see them again, and they would just sell, and they would put the money in your account.
Well,
It's
and I think that's a really great advice. Is there's always new things to try out. There's always more that you could be doing. I mean, one is just prioritizing and finding the time, right?
yeah.
And I think, you know, there's always 1,000. I mean, I would love that. There's always people are like, oh, have you tried blah 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 site? I'm like, I haven't even looked at it. I have no time. But you know, it's one of those things. I have been kind of anti-selling on Amazon. I've heard so many horror stories about it, and just you know, but I feel like with anything. There's the good and the bad. So I need to push myself and get into it. So
yeah, well, the thing about Amazon with the FBA is if you dedicate the time, it's the same thing you're doing with the inventory system. You're front loading the time to send it out of there, and then you're done with it, and
yeah,
it frees up space. It's like I tell people, it's like adding a fulfillment employee. Truly, I mean, it's that truly you don't do the shipping anymore. Instead of shipping one, you can ship as many as you can stick on a pallet. They'll come get it. But it's like anything else. If you follow the rules, you know, you do fine. It's the ones that it's the people that try to skirt. You know, I've told these people for years. Anybody who's watched me for years, I don't see a lot of gray. I see black and white. I see right and wrong, and so I try to stay within right and wrong, and I don't skirt the edges. I don't blend. I'm like, well, what if I can do this? No, I just the rule is this. I just stay right here.
yeah.
And then you don't have the problem. It's the people that are, you know, you see, I'm in one of the Facebook groups, you know, can somebody help me with this? They're accusing me of drop shipping. They go, well, are you drop shipping? Yeah, I'm drop shipping.
Well, then, yeah, of course they're accusing you. Yes, exactly.
The people that are generally in trouble are because they got caught. I mean, there is some randomness, but that happens on every platform that you get.
And I hate that because it ruins the platforms for everybody from the buyer standpoint. There's so many buyers that get mad, and I think that's from a buyer standpoint. That was one of the and I think Poshmark's done a better job of cleaning it up, but dead sellers. So basically, people would create their own what they call their closet, which is like their store, and put a few items on there, and then just completely disappear. And they would never clean those up, and those items would sit there for years and years and years. And someone would go buy it, and then they're like, "Hello, where's my item? Where's my item?"
Yeah.
And and it all or you have people who are not honest and they are trying to swindle, and so people say, oh, I got sent a fake thing and stuff like that. So it's hard because it ruins it for all of us.
So that's actually Tracy. He's telling you that he's catching. And it's important that they do that. See, the problem eBay is now, we think Josh talked about it yesterday on his show. I think eBay is running into some of the same. Amazon fights the Chinese accounts, and you've got one seller in China that's got 30 accounts, and they're selling the exact same thing. So it looks like there's a bunch of stuff. eBay is fighting that same battle right now, because if you look on eBay, you'll go, how can the same person out of the same city have the same thing and have the same feedback? It's all these duplicate accounts and all this stuff. So they're, in order to fight these battles, sometimes normal people will get caught up in it. It's just sheer accident. But if you're doing the right thing by Amazon, it'll get straightened out. I very rarely hear somebody lose an account permanently. So here's one. There's a bookseller who he took his book selling skills and had people send him books, and he sells books. Well, he was FBA during the pandemic limited your warehouse space because you had certain metrics you had to make. You get so much warehouse space. So the answer to some people, and his answer is, I'll just open another account and I'll get double the storage and I'll get this. And so he was trying to get around limits, and he got his account back. But it's when you do things that's against what they're trying to do, you're trying to get around. Most people get in trouble when they're trying to get around something. And you're not allowed to. On Amazon has restrictions on certain brands, and so like if you couldn't sell Little Debbie, what if I paint the box and call them Big Debbie? And you know what I mean? So they'll make, and they'll go, I don't understand. I'm selling this. I got a receipt showing you that it is this, but you weren't allowed to sell Little Debbie. You can't call it Big Debbie.
Yeah, yeah.
It's that kind of shenanigans that people do instead of focusing on. They go, Amazon won't allow me to sell X. Won't allow me to sell Samsung, but I can sell every damn thing else in electronics. Why are you so focused on selling Samsung and trying to get around their systems and put
sell
that
something
effort
else?
Sell. There's so much out there. Sell what you can sell.
Yeah.
But so many people, but I see the ease. I saw Beard do a video in Walmart, and I want to be able to sell that Walmart. just because you can't sell it doesn't mean you can't use the things that I looked and found that item. There's another item sitting right beside it that'll sell just as good, but you're so focused. People want the easy way, and the easy way is get you in trouble.
The problem is that the easy way works for a little while. It could work for a day. It could work for a year. Like the easy way works for a little bit, so people do it, and then they get caught, and then they all raise their hands and scream and cry about it. And it's like, well, I mean, but you're like you said, you're breaking the rules and making it harder for all of us. So, yeah.
But
I like Robert's comment about the postman scan my pickups as delivered. That happened to me one time. That was super fun to contact everybody on eBay because they're like, I didn't get my items. I'm like, I know. Hold on, it's coming. All those fun things.
So I hope you guys are. Whatever questions you got, put them in the chat.
I would say my expertise. Inventory management. So we Kayla and I just started a podcast, and if you go to paperclip47.com, it's
that's what I'm going to talk about. The podcast.
That's our reseller hub, and paperclip47.com has everything. It has our blog, it has our podcast, it has Binin, it has our inventory, it has everything. And so paperclip47.com, we have a new podcast. We just released it. Only has 3 episodes out. We have 4 more in the pipeline we're editing. But our last ones we just did is about you're doing your inventory wrong. And so we did it. That's if you have questions about inventory management and how to do it better, that's the main thing when I'm talking to new resellers. I always ask them, I'm like, how are you organizing your inventory? And especially a lot of people I talk to are doing clothes. And it's surprising to me, the 2 things that people always say is, well, I'm putting like with like, because our little human brains, that's how we organize. Like if you think about your closet, you might have sweaters all right here, and then your pants are hanging up here, and your t-shirts are over here. Well, that makes sense in your closet, but if you are organizing for inventory, you just made your life harder when you sold those pair of jeans and they're all together. Now you have to find them. And so we talk about you have to really change your brain. Or the other way people do is by size. Like all my smalls are in this section and all my mediums are in this section. So we flip it around and say, no, you want dislike, you want non-like with like, and why that's important. And we kind of go into those things. So our podcast, I'm trying to make a little bit more the meat of being a reseller. We don't talk about, how to sign up for an eBay account. Well, that's great. And there's lots of information on how to do just like, how to sign up for things and how to list and stuff. But how to make your listings better and bigger than everybody else's, and how to, those types of things is more what we're trying to do. So
Martha says, how do you set up going live on Poshmark? Do you have to sign up to be in the live program, or is that because I sell on Poshmark?
Yeah, so you have to apply to be on the live, but they've made it super, super easy now. It used to be this whole big process, and it took 2 months to get it. Now you create an account. And then there's a way there that you can apply. And I think they make you go through like a little 30-minute course or something. Is, it kind of teaches you how to do it, and they kind of go through the rules and stuff like that. But I haven't talked to any people that really haven't been approved to do it. And then the biggest advice I give people, either on Poshmark or Instagram or whatnot, or soon on eBay, is, people get very nervous about doing live auctions, and they're like, oh, well, I don't know about being in front of a camera, and I'm not as organized. It's like, just do it. We make so many mistakes on our auction. It's live. We drop things, and we've had shelves fall off behind us and stuff like that happens. And it's like, it's okay. It's live. Just get out there and do it over and over again, and build that community, because your first few sales, they're going to be low. You're not going to have very many people in your room, but then all of a sudden you go from 5 to 10 to 20 to 50, and and then you start building that following. So
it's the key. I don't know where that echo came from, but it must have been Todd. Todd, shame on you.
It's using my headphones.
If you buy right, remember they're buying by the pallet, they're buying by the truckload. Their cost is so low. So understand that if to start where you got to, but the auctions are you're gonna to get good at something, you have to start somewhere. Go look at my first couple of videos. You'll go, oh my God, does he even know how to operate a camera? And then if you're worried about how you look, folks, I'm a lot of things, but GQ model is not one of them. So you're not gonna be much uglier than me or Todd, and we do this all the time. So and
It's a beautiful hand, Todd. It's very beautiful.
Oh, thank you. You like the wrinkles? Look at that.
I
I've
Check.
seen the
do.
real Todd. You were better off looking at his hand.
That's right.
Ouch.
Can I ask if I wanted to do the Binin? What do you call it?
Bin. So it's like you
Binin.
put things in bins, is what it came from.
Oh, so how much does it cost to get your app for that?
So you get to try it free for 30 days.
Ooh.
And I made it 30 because it is inventory management. And it's one of those things that it's a little daunting task. I know some people have like 3-day free trial. I'm like, I have a 2-year-old. 3 days blows by in 2 seconds. So we did 30 days. And then after that, it's $18 a month. Which for me is less than I spend at Chick-fil-A in the morning. So it's pretty good.
Okay.
And then I also have, so I'll put it in here. So let me go type this up, paper47.com code. So this is the coupon code for, and it's only good for this week. So all my live people, if you're watching this later, that coupon code probably doesn't work. That gets you $10 off my website. But if you sign up for Binin app, even for the free trial, then I will send you. We're doing a Black Friday coupon code this week for our subscribers, and that gets you 10% off. And so that's a lot more than $10 off if you're buying some of the bigger lots and things like that. You can, buy multiple lots. So I have to tell people, like, sign up for their free trial, and then you also get 10% off the inventory. So it's a win-win on that. And then we've built this community around our subscribers, and I do a lot of one-on-ones. I do a lot of trainings with the new people, and talk to y'all about your inventory management. I know it's not like the super sexy thing to talk about in reselling, and I think the bearded pickers YouTube videos are a lot more exciting when you're out finding stuff, and it's like the hunt and the thrill of the game. Those are a lot more
Yeah.
interesting. But
Excitement is what I feel when I watch a beard video. Yeah.
exactly. So, but you got it, it's not fun and sexy, but it's one of those things that will change your business, and it will take you to the next level, and it will help you grow.
You have to keep it exciting. Y'all thought I lost him, but he made it over to this side of the building.
So
Actually,
once
what's
once
weird?
you
This is a
start
very.
on, sorry.
I was gonna say is I actually have one of those. It's white in my
The white-
auction today. I have it in a box today, in a kid's box today at 3:00. So if you want your
Cool.
own, if you want to be like the beard and have your own llama, you can get one today at the auction.
That's the Walmart. Walmart had a special color. It's to remind me that drop shippers suck. I bought 212 of them and lost $500 on those. So he was the only return that came back, and so he hangs out to remind me to drop shippers suck.
So if you get started on the Binin app, do you have to stay with it like forever to get to keep using it, or what? If you put all your inventory in the Binin system,
Yeah.
but
Well,
then you
I hope
quit.
you use it forever.
But if you got it all in there and decided I don't need it anymore and quit,
You could export it out. No.
does it
Yeah,
disappear?
No. You would be able to export it out if you change systems or just decided not to, be a reseller anymore or something like that. No, you would be able to access it if you need to. You wouldn't be able to make any changes to it if you quit your subscription, or you could export it out. So it's not. We're not gonna. I don't see your back end. I don't see what you're doing. I'm not interested in that. So.
So my question for you is, when do you sleep? With a 2-year-old and and all the shipping and all 3 platforms and the app and the podcast and the website. Yeah, when do you sleep?
I will definitely. That is a good question. Very rarely is definitely it. And like last night, he's 2, and so he wet the bed, and so we had to pull him out, change him in the middle of the night, throw him in bed with us because I'm not changing his crib in the middle of the night. So then I slept with like knees and elbows in the back of my back all night. And so it was not very restful either. But I will say that is one of the things, owning your own business, being an entrepreneur, no matter what industry you're in, is amazing because the harder the harder you work, the more money you make. Typically, if you're in a corporate job, you can work extra hard and you're still going to make your salary and you still just,
Good job.
yeah,
You did
good job. Great. You maybe get a bonus here and there, but owning your own businesses, you've got to push yourself and keep working. But it also gives us the flexibility, especially since we're both in the business, for our families. And so we, if our kid's sick, we're home with him. It's not a big deal. If it is, we have a doctor's appointment or we want to go on vacation, we ask ourselves, may I have permission to go on vacation? Yes, you may. And then we do it, so now we know we'll probably make less money that week or whatever time we take off, but we're able to do that. So there is so much benefit to it, in owning your own business and working in a small business, than it is in this big corporate world. I've done both. Though I will say having that steady paycheck is nice and it's nice to rely on, but there is something satisfying about making that big sale. You worked hard, you found the item, you listed it, you made that big sale, you go out and celebrate and blow it all on margaritas. So,
but there's so many different ways to do things, folks. Just you're limited. Reselling, there's a platform out there. You're limited by your imagination. It's absolutely amazing from doing live auctions to selling on different platforms to making your own website. So did you guys do your own website? Did you pay somebody to do it?
So the paperclip47.com I made, which is probably why it's not the most like professional, fantastic website, but the reason I'm a reseller is because I'm cheap. I said I want a big shirt that says I'm cheap, but then I figured walking around town, that would probably get like the wrong impression with most people. That might not be the best idea, but that's why I'm a reseller. I am super cheap. And so I just did the free website. I did it on Wix. I know there's lots of other free, develop your own websites out there. And I just created it myself and I maintain it myself. Now the app, that was something we definitely had to hire out because I have no concept of creating your own app. Yeah, but we were fortunate we have a family friend here that works in the defense industry and he manages apps in the defense industry. And so he knew a good developer and contacted us and, put us together with them and really helps us through that. So that was just, that was a God blessing on that one. So to help us do that. So but yeah, we bootstrap. Everything is us. What we do is we do it ourselves to try to save as much money as we can. So
are there military launch codes on the app?
Yeah, exactly. He probably couldn't tell us too much about it, but yes.
So folks, if there's a way you can figure it out. My website's terrible, but hell, I made it. Yeah. I need to do a better job updating it. I need maybe in my spare time I'll do that. But
that's the thing. I say that about my social. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to be, they say you should post 2 to 3 times a day. I'm like, a day? I'm lucky if I post 2 times a week, and yes, I need to put more time into it. I really need to focus more into it, but at least I'm doing something. I'm out there. I'm trying people. So
yeah, I think a lot of the key is you got to be the same thing everywhere. So people will now remember Paperclip 47. It's that one's odd, so it'll be rememberable.
Well, that's it's funny when you start a business. The biggest thing is trying to find what am I going to name it, and I get on to people all the time. A lot of our new users and that we're kind of training and helping because their username is typically their name, right? It's Anna Smith or something like that, and that's their 1 2 3 4. And I'm like, that's I get it because you started off just selling your own personal stuff, or most people start off as a buyer. Yeah. But if you do want to grow into a business, please get a business name and not just make it your own personal name. But trying to find something that is unique, that is easy to say and spell. That was the other thing. It's like, don't make up your own word that's really hard and people can't say it. Of course I did Binin and now everyone says Binny. And I'm like, it's not Binny, it's Binin, but fine. But at least it's easy to spell. It's not too complicated. And then also trying to find a URL that's not taken. Now that's almost impossible, trying to find a URL that's not taken. So
unless your last name starts with a Z, then you can pretty much do what you want.
then hopefully Z and X's in there, you're great. You're good. You're fine. Well, maybe not X's. I just take that.
So you got a question. What are the system requirements for the desktop version of Binin?
Have a computer. It's on a browser. It's online. So you would just log in online. Log in through whatever browser. So it works with. I use Firefox and Chrome and Internet Explorer, so it works fine with all those. But yeah, it doesn't download to your computer. It's just you just log in on your computer. So I like the desktop version because I hate text. I hate typing on my little bitty phone. So I'm sitting there like, I can't freaking text and do that. And so I'm one of those people, like I sit and I type everything out in my computer. But it is nice on the mobile version because it does have a barcode scanner. So if you do sell things that have barcodes, like we sell overstock, and so I can scan the barcode in because I am slightly dyslexic, and so trying to type a giant stream of numbers never works out for me. So it is always wrong. So being able to scan the barcode in and then put your information in that way. So
she meant this. She didn't. She showed you she doesn't use Internet Explorer. She meant to say Microsoft Edge. Or whatever the hell they call it.
Yeah. Well, it's right here. Well, I just got it. It's right here on my computer, whatever that little swishy symbol is.
It's been.
Is that how old I am?
Yeah, Internet Explorer got retired. It's called Edge or Bing or whatever the hell they call
it. I'm forever going to call it that because that's how it is. I don't care if you change your name. I'm still going to call it that. So.
and the folks, that's one that really gets we talk about businesses that go under because they don't take advantage and do things. How does Microsoft get a pass on that? When computers started, they were like 95, 98% of the browser, and a little thing called Chrome comes up and takes the entire market from them while they were asleep. While the old man was busy preparing how to put bugs in your food and give things into you in your arm, Chrome just stole the internet from you.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
I like Firefox. I use them a lot. That's the one that I normally like, but there are some things that don't run very well on that, and I do have my Chrome, and I have to pop over to that. So
they want to know what be stoppable or be unstoppable. Do they contain brand name items? About to order the $80 box. What are the brands? When I was there, I saw what's her name? What's Brittany or Bethany?
Kayla and Lexi.
No, Bethany was her brand. Skinny Girl was everywhere when I was there.
Yeah, that was the main thing. So I'm in like the mid range is what I personally like to sell. I don't do luxury. I've dabbled in it, but I find it really hard because there's so many fakes out there. And so when you have something that's real and the person is selling a fake for 30, 5% of retail, you're really, and I feel like there's a lot of scams on the buyer side that people will get a real item. They're like, oh, it's a fake. And then you're having to fight that. So I just stopped messing with that. So this is definitely more of that middle of the road brands. That I would say I get a lot of stuff from Target. And I know there's people that go, Target. Believe me, there's a lot of people that shop at Target and they love Target. And they know the Target brands and they buy a ton of it. So I have found it works a lot better for me. And then it's also the last load we got was from Home Shopping Network. So that was like your Skinny Girl brand, your Colleen Lopez, your Diane Gilman, things like that, which is a little bit more higher retail side of things. But I will say, if you're sitting there going like, well, what kind of items am I going to sell? Go to Poshmark and go to, let me see if I click on I'll send that's the Poshmark code. That's the Poshmark code if you don't have an account. And look at my closet. So Paperclip47 is my username on Poshmark. And just scroll through it. I mean, it takes you a while. But those are the items that you're going to get. Like I tell people, I don't cherry pick. I'm a reseller too, especially right now. I don't have time. We are just putting things in boxes and going. Huh?
Collins is out there building and separating them. You don't even make.
Oh, he doesn't even know. Yeah, he's just like, sure, whatever. Put things in boxes. Yeah, we don't have time.
What are you doing? He goes, I'm putting jeans over here. I'm putting this over there. I'm like, I just see Skinny Girl stuff everywhere, and he just starts laughing. He goes, and he looks at this bin and he goes, Yeah, I just grabbed down there. I think that looks like a handful of jeans, and he'll pull some up. And I mean, he was rather humorous.
So we put Collins in front of the camera every now and then on our live auctions. If he just happens to walk by, and he's getting better at it, but his first few live auctions, because we, especially with women's clothes, was hilarious because he has no idea. He's holding things up. He's like, I don't even know what this is, and he's pulling it out. The classic one, and you'll hear this. A lot of my regulars will say it. So we had a pair of sandals, and they were kind of a coral color. And he goes, oh, I love this color. It's like pink and orange. It's porange. And we're like, no, orange is not a color. Please do not. And then he also goes, he had a pair of shoes and he goes, you're going to get 2 shoes. And I was like, no, you're getting 1 pair of shoes. You're not getting it. You're going to get both of them. You're not getting 2 pairs of shoes. Yeah. So
he was
he's
sorting
very entertaining.
girl stuff. It was like skinny girl shirts, skinny girl tops, jeans.
Okay. Yeah, but anyone have any? Like I said, you have questions about Poshmark. You have questions about inventory management, any sort of sourcing, reselling. I've been doing this for 2 decades now. So
I know a lot of people are having trouble, as things dry up, and everybody's always looking for another way to find a place to source. Pricing on their website is very good, and you guys don't deal in used clothing, so it's all new stuff, right?
all new. I mean, it's literally in manufacturing bags. It's most of the stuff that you're going to get is still in the manufacturing bags. It's how new it is. So, and we try to send, like I said, on the site, you can buy like just women's or just men's, just kids, just pet, just home, or you can get a mixed box depending on what. And that's the biggest thing I tell people is like diversifying your store, getting different sizes that you normally don't sell in, getting different things, because you never know when someone comes and finds you what they're how they find you and what else they're going to buy, especially if you do sell on Poshmark, because Poshmark has a bundling feature. And so a buyer can buy multiple items from the same seller and only pay 1 shipping cost. And so when someone finds you, they search on Google for a certain brand or certain item, they come into your closet, then most of them go through and they try to see what else that you have, and they're going to bundle 2 or 3 other items. So it's, trying to find those little niches and cover as many categories as you possibly can.
So Carol, are you trying to tell me that we're not normally this informative? Carol, you're very informative. See, I see the opposite, Carol. I say that me and Todd are not entertaining you. I told Steve he could have the day off because, but so I'm gonna dock that from his pay too. He's gonna get an extra dose of nothing this week.
So how big is your warehouse that you keep all this stuff in?
So we have a bigger warehouse up front and like a smaller warehouse in the back. In total, it's about 10 to 12,000 square feet. The front of our warehouse actually is rented by a guy who owns Copperheads. So Copperheads Outdoors, if you are an outdoorsman, he does bow hunting and all of that world. And he was there when we bought the warehouse, and he has been an amazing partner in this. Like he has his little store up front, and he is very knowledgeable, and people contact him. People drive in for hours to see him, and people order from him online all the time. So if you are, especially for Christmas, and someone who's in the bow hunting, outdoorsy, that type of thing, it's also great because it's funny. We have a lot of sheriff's cars around us because we're out in the boonies out there, and so they're obviously bow hunters too, and so they're always there. So I'm like, I feel very safe. There's lots of sheriffs around here all the time, so it's nice, especially when I'm working by myself. So
and then if you watch their on their Instagram, they were showing where they were receiving a load. The people that you bought the warehouse from still own the one next to you, and they Collins was explaining how nice they are to let you put the overflow over there and receive, because they have a forklift.
They have a forklift, and they have a kind of bigger bay area that we can actually receive it. So we receive it there and pull it off, and then we're right next door. So we just throw it in the back of the truck and run it next door and put it into our warehouse. Yeah, they're Madison Carpets. And so, they are Morgan City Carpets, Madison Carpet. I think they have 2 businesses, one in Madison, one in Morgan. So it's a little bit of both. But it's nice to have nice neighbors and make friends next door. It's one of those things is like, be nice to everybody because you never know when someone's going to be able to help you and you help them. So. Oh, you have a lot of bow hunting. Look at all the people who love bow hunting. I love that. So.
You can't trust. There's the person lag. You can't trust anything he says. By bow hunting, he's probably chasing guys who wear bow ties. Is his idea of bow hunting. He lives in somewhere. We think somewhere around Philadelphia. He's the mystery troll that shows up and keeps life entertaining.
I like that. So you can't trust me. Yes.
So Jeremy is right here. Paperclip. So it's from Operation Paperclip. It was the bringing a scientist over from Germany.
I like this. What someone was saying about the Navy. I've never heard that people against people ever re-enlisting civilian life instead of. I like that. That's hilarious. Yeah, once again, I was trying to come up with a name because I didn't at the time I was selling furniture and I didn't want to do Furniture's R Us or something because I didn't want to pigeonhole myself too much, which I'm glad because I don't do furniture anymore. I'm glad that's not my name. I didn't build my brand around something very specific. And I see that a lot with people's names too. They'll be, like, Posh is the greatest, and that's the name of their store. eBay's eBay giant or something. And it's like, well, that's great. But what if you ever want to go to another platform? Then that's your business name. Are you going to change it? You kind of want to be the same across all platforms as much as you possibly can. So.
Like if somebody made all their stuff Halloween props and costumes that doesn't sell Halloween anymore, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, is that what you did?
No, that's what Harlan did.
I like that. I'm gonna have to make fun of that.
Harlan Reselling did a lot of he sold a lot of everything through his, but he would go to Halloween shows. He had he had his own haunted attraction. He loves Halloween, but now he's changed because that's his original. It used to be Halloween props and costumes. He's now Harlan's Reselling Adventures.
Yes, yes, much better. Something very generic, something that's easy. Yes, you want to try to keep it more generic because you never know what the next trend's going to be. You never know what the market's going to happen. Like I said, I was in furniture for a long time, and then shipping costs basically times 10, and I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't compete when the Wayfair started coming out and things like that. So you have to be able to pivot. And if your name pigeonholes you too much, then it makes it harder to do that. It's not impossible, obviously. I mean, nothing's impossible. You can always add another name. You can always change it. It's not the end of the world, but it does make it a little bit harder. So
but
you are so mean to each other in the chat over here.
I told you they're just here for their own entertainment. It was a lot of the same ones have been here. I've been doing this show for 5 or 6 years, so you've got a lot of the same people. They're just every Wednesday, and then Todd does a couple days a week, and then Tom, who is boycotting us this morning. Somebody needs to check and make sure the old man got up and took his heart medicine this morning. We'll do a couple days. So one of us is lag setters with love. Yeah, right. But it was just, because I didn't know about your website until I stopped by the other day, and I'm like, man, that is a struggle with a lot of people. I'm like, so I wanted to introduce you to everyone and give them an opportunity to check out the website, because a lot of people go, I don't have anything to buy around here. I don't. And this stuff's out there, folks. You're just not looking hard enough,
Well, and I will say you've been in the business for a while, and you probably have seen the change in particularly thrifting. I feel like a lot of people start in thrifting, and you can still find. I mean, I watch your videos. You still find some treasures out there, but it is harder, and you really have to know what you have to have that knowledge and that knowledge base on what this is going to sell for. And I've sold this in the past, and I know it's a good seller. Those types of things. And if you're new, it's hard to start cold. And so starting an overstock, and that's what, like I said, I sell Target, Macy's kind of brands. I feel like it's a very safe brand because even if the market tanks and, the world goes to crap, you're still going to have to buy clothes. People are just going to they're not going to buy the Louis Vuitton bag. They're going to go buy Target stuff. So I'm like, I'm always here selling. I really stay the same no matter what the market's doing. And for me, that's a peace of mind. So
there'll be a lot of influencers will talk about the, Target brands and the other brands. But there's a huge difference in buying them at the bins or buying them new. And
yes.
Folks, there are people who shop Target. It is just like eBay versus Amazon. If you shop on eBay, most of the time you don't shop on Amazon, and vice versa. Target and Walmart are the same way, and those people are crazy loyal to Target brands. And so new items are no cleaning, no nothing, get in at a good cost. List them. So Harlan is announcing that he's left the full-time business. So somebody cue up Elvis singing Blue Christmas. There's a lot of ladies out there, Harlan. You're just breaking their hearts.
So what percentage of your business is selling to other sellers as opposed to selling one-off items on Posh and eBay yourself?
That's a great question. So I've always been slightly selling to other resellers, like in smaller lots and things like that. But this idea of like a bigger bulk is fairly new. So it's actually a very small percentage of my business. I'm still just the one-offs, go, eBay, Poshmark, selling to individuals. I will say is the live auctions has changed my game. Going into the live auctions has been a big boost to my business because we're moving inventory, we're moving it faster.
So what percentage would you say is the live auction?
Now, probably a good 30-40% of my business is the live auctions. It is, nice. And we've been doing that now right at a year. And it is a game changer for me on that side of my business. So Yep.
Nice. Mr. Sadie, I've got some help for you. So last night on the way home from wing night, I scoped out a new sourcing for a place for boxes. Hint, their boxes are $1.25 each, and you get other stuff out of the boxes. So look forward to that video tomorrow of me breaking out the box fixer again.
Love that. I love that.
I might even on my next video, which I got to do today or tomorrow, I might even update the box fixture to a different color. I'm thinking the black is too much for some people, so maybe we need to. I've got a list of like 7 or 8 different video ideas about these boxes. So until y'all get tired of it.
I love that because if you buy poly mailers, and I just buy the gray ones because once again I'm cheap. But if you want people to have like the fancy ones that are pink or flowers, like you just make your own. I love that idea. You can just have like hot pink bearded boxes.
I might have bought some stencils and painted something on the next box. So y'all like.
Oh, okay. I'm super excited about that one. I can't wait for that video to come out. That is going to be.
He's going to get those.
I'm going to watch it over and over.
He's going to get those stencils with like that silhouette of the girl on trucker mud flaps.
Yeah.
They didn't have that one, so this one's kind of generic, but yeah, I need to find that.
No, you need to get your bearded one, your logo, and get it made into a stencil, and then just on all your boxes.
I need to call Charlie at Supply Hut and see if he can brand me some bearded boxes.
I love that. I love that.
But there's so many ways to do this, folks, and so many places to get stuff from. It's that's what people go. I don't know what to sell, and I'm like, you just stand where you are now and do a 360-degree circle. You bought everything that's around you, and you wonder somebody had to sell and make all that, and it's amazing. There's so much opportunity, and people get so blinded.
People have always asked me, what do you resell? And I said, as long as it's legal and as long as I can make $1 on it, I'm going to resell it.
I tell you the same thing. maybe not $1, maybe a little more, but if it's
Yes, but
if it's legal to resell, and I can it's worth my time. I'm in.
I'll tell you one of the weirdest things I've ever sold and sourced, and this was several years ago when I was still kind of doing more furniture. I bought used meat slicer, deli slicers, and I think it was from Target. I think it was from Target. I can't remember. It was when it was some national business, and they completely changed it. And I bought probably 80 or 100 of them. I mean, huge. These things weighed
Yep.
30, 40 pounds each. I mean, those giant meat deli slicers. And I can't even remember. I have to go back and look at my numbers and what I bought them for nothing. And I remember Colin's going, "What did you do? What are we ever going to do this?" And I'm like, "No, believe me." Now we had to hold on to them for a little bit, but we had some guy and he ended up buying almost all. I mean, I sold onesie twosies here and there, and then he ended up buying all. But I think I bought them for $5 a piece. It ended up selling for $200-300 each.
Wow.
And so like within 6 months, got rid of them, and it was one of those things that it was like, yep. People are like, you wait, use deli slicers. I'm like, they were clean. I mean, they cleaned them and everything, but yep, use deli slicers. You can sell anything, people.
I've sold a couple of those big ones. The ones that look like I bought one at auction and sold it again at auction. It was one of those that looks like the ones at Publix. One
Yeah,
of those real big ones. Oh my goodness, heavy.
they're very heavy. That was the other, shipping it was a problem, but I'm telling you, I mean, they're expensive. So you can go out there and find all the little treasures and stuff. So
What the hell time is it? 9:20. I forgot to take my medicine yesterday, so I'm gonna have to. I'm not gonna make it till 10 o'clock today without the bathroom, because yeah, that water pill and being an old man is terrible. They do sell a good auction, and that's folks. That's it. Is she's telling you in a different way that I tell you guys a lot. Find a different way. Find a place to sell. Find a way that because you can sell anything if you've got a market for it. How do you sell truck? I mean, when she just calls it loads, but folks, she's buying stuff by the truckload to sell, and and there's a way to do it through Poshmark at 30%, folks.
20%.
Or no, you said 30% of your business was probably the live
Oh,
auction.
I think you're talking about their fees. Yeah. The live auctions and stuff. Yeah. It's, I mean, and I would a year and a half ago before we started this, I would have laughed and said, most of your business is going to be on live auctions. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then now we do 3 auctions a week, and we really want to go back to Whatnot and start building our community there. It's just the thought of adding another one right now. My voice is not going to take it, let alone my time. So, but yeah, it is, you can be creative in how you're going to sell. And I will say this is local sales too. I mean, Facebook Marketplace and things like that. They're still very, very, very hot. And people, especially as you're getting closer to Christmas, and people, that week before when people cannot buy things online and get them in time, start pushing all your stuff on the Facebook Marketplace, because that's where people are going to turn to find those deals for their Christmas presents as well. So don't forget that local market as well.
So just think about this. They received 26 pallets on a truck. 7.5 to 8 of those pallets are being sold in a live auction on Poshmark. That's a lot of stuff going out, folks. I mean, you can sell bulk. They would tell you, the people who sell the onesies and the twosies would go, "Oh, you can't never sell that much on Poshmark." I would tell you, I sold one item on Poshmark this week, and she sold a pallet while I sold my one item. She sold a pallet.
Well, you probably sold more on eBay than I did, so we'll be fair on that one.
All right, Ty. What were you saying, Ty?
Oh, I was just going to ask, have you ever considered opening a retail store? For walk-in customers or anything like that?
I will say I have had lots of people approach me about that, and the reason I'm not is that A, I don't have time. B is it's a lot of overhead, because you are paying for the space, you're paying for the employee, even when no one's there. Now, if I can get an employee that I can also train to list at the same time, it might be worth it. But where I have found, I have done some pop-up stores before where maybe I rent a space. So downtown here, we have an indoor storage unit that they've turned into small businesses. And I've rented a space like at Christmas time for 2 months and just did a pop-up store. And that went really, really well. I piggyback on a lot of the local stuff. So we do sell a lot of kids, and they have, kids consignment places, not just the stores themselves, but there's a lot of these kids consignment things, sales that are once or twice a year, and you just sign up as a seller, you tag your own stuff, you go put it out there, and then you sell it, and they take a percentage. Those are great ways to move inventory, especially like little kid stuff is hard because it's cheap to begin with to retail. And so selling like one shirt that retails for $6 is hard online because someone has to pay shipping for it. So doing those types of sales, like with the kids consignment, is a great way to move stuff. And it's also for people who struggle to sell like small sizes. A lot of kids consignment will take junior sizes. So if you have those 0s, 2s, things like that, put them in the kids consignment sales, and they sell really well there too. So.
Hey, Harlan, you're in charge. I gotta go pay the water bill. I'll be right back.
That's why I popped in.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. We were saying how we haven't had our monthly meetup group in a while. So I blink and I can't believe we're basically December now. So it's nice to have that and see your face. So good to see you.
Yeah, we need to find a warm place to go. We've been sitting outside some of these places on the patio. So,
yes.
And for the people in the chat, if you live somewhere and you don't have a lot of people to, to discuss, reselling stuff with, find people in your area and meet and talk. And it's a good way to learn new stuff. So
absolutely.
Now, did he run into Collins somewhere? How did he meet?
I think he met through the group. I think the first meeting, John set up the meeting, and I wasn't able to go.
That's what it was.
Yeah, and then so I sent him, and of course, like I said, he'll talk to the wall if he has to. He'll talk to anybody. So he's a good person to send to the meetings. Like go. And so. Yeah, local chamber groups are good. I will say, and I promise you, I'm not being paid by Poshmark. It's my main platform. They have a way that you can search users by your city. So you can go in and hit it's called like my hometown or my city, and then it will show you all the people who are located there, and then just message them there and say like, hey, do y'all want to meet up? Of course, that's like really creepy. Don't be creepy about it, but you can at least start a conversation like, hello, do you want to meet up? No, not that.
That's what Harlan's after.
That's yeah. Hey, you want to meet up?
And block. So, but yeah, like I said, being a reseller can be a lonely business because we are all online and we are in our little zones, and we work hard. We're hard workers, and so it's hard to take that time. So it is nice to once a month just get out of the box and go and say hi to people who are in that same industry, because I love talking to y'all because y'all get it. We talk about our silly customer stories or our bad buys and things like that. And y'all all get it. We've all been there before. So it's kind of fun to have.
Want to Poshmark and chill.
And block.
Man, she's in the blocking mood today.
Oh, I get block happy. I that's one of my faults is like a customer. And I also so Todd asked me earlier, do I wanted to open a retail store? The other problem is I don't have a really good poker face. And so when people piss me off, I'm like no. And so I like being online because when customers piss me off, you can't see my face. And so and I can also go block. I don't have to deal with you anymore. It's really hard to do that when you have a retail store. I'll be like, no, you're blocked. I don't know what that means. It means get out and don't come back in.
So Jeremy had a question. Did y'all talk about Jeremy's question, Leah? What separates you from other pallet bulk resellers?
Oh, I did not see that. What separates you from other pallet bulk resellers? That is a really good question. Because I'm amazing and awesome. No. I will
go.
say, like,
Simple answer.
ask my regulars who buy from me. I sell to the same people over and over. Most of the people who have bought at least once always come back and buy more. I don't cherry pick. I don't send you crap. I have bought like pallets before, and I get it, and it's crap, and it is like, well, that was a giant waste of money. I am a reseller too. That's my first business, is being a reseller. And so you can, like I said, you can go into my stores, my Poshmark store, my eBay store, things like that, and see what I'm selling, and you can see the prices. And I also tell people, copy my pictures and copy my descriptions. You're selling this, we're selling the same thing. Like, save yourself time. Just go and you can, I don't care. So you can steal all my stuff, and save yourself the time that way.
So
But
do you sell hard goods at all, or is it just mostly clothes?
well, we do sell some, and especially on Poshmark, because it's that 5 pound limit, is a little bit harder because it can, very quickly get over that. But home goods sell really well because and toys and things like that, because that's one size fits all. So someone's coming and they find a pair of jeans from you, well, then they also buy some kitchenwares or something like that, because you have a wider audience with those items that are one size fits all. I also do some soft goods, such as like bedding and sheets and things like that too, which actually do really well. But
Colin said that he would give somebody a really good deal on some lamps.
we do have a lot of lamps. So because we, when we buy by the truckload, you're buying the entire truck. You don't get to say, well, I don't want these pallets over here, I just want these. And so sometimes we get these massive amounts of things that are a little odd to sell. But it's quite hilarious. Is they're beautiful lamps. And we have them all over our house now. So, and when my 2-year-old knocks one over, I'm like, oh, well, I have more. Like, please don't knock over one now. But, so yeah, we also have, so like, we have a lot of lamps that we got. And we also, in one of our loads, we got a whole bunch of dehumidifiers, which those have been actually great sellers for us, as these dehumidifiers. And, so once again, it's kind of one of those things that people look at my items and are like, well, you don't have a straight theme. It's like, well, yeah, because I'm also getting other things here and there and doing stuff like that too. So
that's the big ones, right? That
those big ones
big
I have when we were out.
Yeah. They're 47 pounds each. So they're
we saw
quite
those
big.
in your warehouse.
Yeah, their things are stacked everywhere. We are all about saving space, and it is stacked to the ceiling on stuff. So
I think they miss the part. Since you do Facebook Marketplace, those other things, if you wanted to sell things local, you would just sell it out of your warehouse. You wouldn't the retail space. If somebody wants stuff bad enough, they'll drive to the middle of nowhere to pick it up.
well, I yes and no. I don't meet people because I don't have the time. It's more I just don't have the time. I mean, with running businesses and raising a toddler, it is just no, and my adult toddler and my baby toddler, I do not have the time for that. But I still just do. I know it's probably like not the safest in the world, but I do a lot of porch pickups from people. I mean, it is what it is. I have guns in my house, so I'm good. I protect myself. I'm from Texas, so we're good.
This is Alabama.
Yeah. This is Alabama, people. We're good. But yeah, so we either pick up from the warehouse. We have a lot of people that come to the warehouse. And then it's funny is because they come pick up something from our warehouse from Facebook Marketplace, and then they think we're a store. So we had someone come by. He actually bought a dehumidifier months ago. And then Kayla was at the warehouse. I wasn't there. And she's like, this guy just shows up with his wife and was asking the shop. And I'm like, what are you talking? Like, how did they find us? And he had bought something. And so they just thought we were a store. I'm like, no, we're really not a store, because we're all so organized. You please do not go through my bins and start taking things out, because then I will, stab you with a fork because you messed up my inventory.
But because I mentioned the guy who organized the group, John, because I know he buys stuff from you as a reseller himself too. He purchases from you and sells.
Yeah, he's because he sells on Amazon and I don't, so he likes to come whenever I get a new load and peruse, and he's sitting there looking at what items he can and can't sell and things like that. So it's a good partnership. But I will say is, and Scott, this is what I love about your shows, is that we are all resellers. We're all in the same space, but we're not competitors. This market is so big. I don't care if we sell the exact same item on the exact same platform. We are still getting different eyeballs on our stuff. So you can sell it for more or you can sell it for less. I don't consider you a competitor. And that's, as a reseller myself, and I'm selling in bulk and too. I tell people all the time, I'm like, we're not competitors because it is such a giant market and it's still just growing. So oh, look, that's so nice. Thank you. Yay, yay, yay. That's such a nice comment.
You can't trust Ron. He's just been nice to you because he's from Texas. He's just been nice to you because he's from Texas.
Well, as Texans, we stick together. So, right, Todd?
He did the opposite of you. He did the opposite of you, where you would not go to that big crazy university. I think Ron's. How many degrees you have from A&M, Ron? Like 30. And you still don't know how to use the contraction "your." I had to correct you on your own Facebook post.
Oh my God.
I am an English major. That grammar, I'm the grammar Nazi sometimes. I kicks in and I'm like, no. So,
but Ron, you're 100% right. And so I try to be positive, because there's a lot of people with a lot of negativity, and and how do you teach people not to do this kind of shit? Do you scream and yell at them, or do we just make fun of them and have a good time? And they once people realize the ridiculousness of, folks, by the time you try to spray paint a pizza box or whatever these people have been doing, you could have got 100 boxes done. You got to wait for it to dry. The next box might have dog hair in it. You just never know what's going to happen on tomorrow's video. It's only a short. I had to pack. I'm laughing with Big Dave making this video last night. I'm talking to him on one phone and shooting the video with the other phone. That video is just out there. But Ron, I give you a hard time just because that's what we do. But you're 100% right. It is very, because, folks, you can't control can't control a lot of things, but you can control your attitude. You can control the way you react to things, and I'm telling you, you can be about getting things done and seeing things in a positive light, or you can let the negativity of the rest of them. Oh, eBay search is broken. They're still selling shit. Are you going to whine and cry about it and moan to the world, or are you going to get about? So one thing I miss about Dusty so much was Dusty was so focused on figuring it out. He was how can I get best up in search? He had things. I mean, he worked on it every single day. He's like you will love him, Leah. You're not afraid to try things different. Oh, Poshmark is going to do the live. I'm just now building up an audience and whatnot, but I want to be at Poshmark.
Yeah.
I need to be more organized. Well, it's expensive to make an app, but let's do it anyway. It's
well, I think that's being an entrepreneur, is taking those risks but being okay with failing. I mean, every single one of us has failed in something. Whether it's we made a really bad buy, and we've all done that. Hello, yes.
Yeah,
or little fails and even big fails. I mean, it is okay to fail, and if you're not okay with failing, then you're not an entrepreneur, because I basically fail every single day. I literally call Kayla and Lexi and I'm like, oh, I made a mistake. That was my mistake. I did it. Embrace your mistakes and embrace your failures, and keep moving forward and look at it as a learning and say, well, I'm not going to do that again. I made that mistake, and just keep going. And that's okay. So
we don't talk about that enough, and maybe I need to make a video on that. Is the only way you learn in this business, the only way you learn as entrepreneurs, is to try things. And when you try things that you've never done before, there's going to be failure, but you're not paying a tuition. Most of us are not paying classes to learn. So your education is, hell, I'm going to try this again. This didn't. How do you ever get to the right way to do something if you didn't try the other way to begin with? If you don't try something, you never. The wrong answer is not to try. The wrong answer is to be so negative that you can't. How many of you see the light at the end of the tunnel, and that is, and flip the light switch off?
You see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's a train coming. Is that what it is?
The way out is staring you in the face, and you flip the light switch off.
Well, and I think that's where your passion of these videos and starting teaching people on how to do stuff is it is the mistakes that we have made, right? It's like I have been there. I have made all of the mistakes. Let me teach you what not to do, basically, so you don't make those same mistakes. So you can make other ones because you're gonna make other mistakes. So that's okay.
But
Fail quick, fail often. I like that. That's a good one.
I mean, read all these books. There's the link to the book in the description. I got mine yesterday, or I've got mine. I'll start reading it tomorrow. Um, I've decided that I'm reading a book a month and just talking about it on one night in a month. And it's Profit First by Mike Machowski. I don't know how to say his name. But because
Mike
there's no
Wazowski. Well, that was
Mike,
on Monsters.
Mike, he was the monster, Big Mike.
I was like, that was monsters.
Mike Wazowski.
You're never ever gonna go read the books and talk and see these people and how many times. The great example, which a lot of this audience doesn't want me to talk about, is the Big Orange Man. They want to tell you how many times he's had to use bankruptcy and everything else. What's the man worth?
Yeah.
I mean, if I told you in your life early on that you were gonna have all these successes, but there were gonna be failures along the way, that you were gonna be worth $3.5 billion and be the president of the United States, and on and on and on, folks.
You do it.
These are not. You do not get where. Look at all these people. Look at the most successful people. They do not. You'll hear somebody every now and then, bat a home run and right from the start, but it is so rare. Entrepreneurs, especially, if you're any kind of entrepreneur, it is.
If you are successful and you've never made a mistake, then you didn't do it right. I mean, no offense. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard a story of someone saying like, I just was lucky and became super successful with no mistakes in my entire life. Yeah, that's not true. You lie.
I mean, a lot of people like to watch what's the show with all the four people they're trying to sell the business to. Look how many of these people have started businesses with these guys. I forget the name. Somebody throw in the chat. But these people who are trying something, this is not their first business. This is their second, third, fourth one, and this is just the best one of the group. So many entrepreneurs just Shark Tank. Thanks, Brian. But you're looking at the best one. You're not looking at what got them there and what they had to do to get there. It's amazing how many people think they're so special that they're entitled. And that's a lot of this society. They're so entitled to be successful because they decided that's what they're going to do. You're not going to put in the work. You're not going to try to do things. You're entitled to it because you exist. And folks, if you want it, you got to chase it. That means you're going to trip along the way. We all have bad days.
The work is the hard part. You got to put in that hard work. You got to put your nose down to the grindstone and just go, because it's not going to come easy, but it is worth it in the end. Because you will have those successes, you will have those big wins, and those highs are why we're still in this business and why we're still successful doing it. So, keep chasing it, even if you have, we all have those bad buys. We've all had those bad decisions we've made. We tried something new, but those successes and wins are amazing. So, it's like marriage.
And you got to keep working, keep building. Remember, Leah, she didn't always buy truckloads. Remember, she bought textbooks to get through college. She's bought the small stuff. You keep learning, you keep trying things. Now, one of my questions for you before the show was, if eBay, because you started off on eBay, when eBay Live starts, are you going to give eBay Live a try? And
I think so, because I have been on eBay for so long, and so I have a good rating and things like that. I'm not starting completely from scratch, but it wouldn't hurt to try. I will say, it's a hard decision to make when you're chasing a trend, because if you're one of the first people to do something, you could be spinning your wheels and waste a lot of time and nothing comes out of it. But if you're also one of the first people to do something and it is successful and the whole platform blows up, then you've built that following, you've built that community that follows with you early on. So that's, you people look at people that sell on Whatnot and they're like, oh my gosh, they turned around and they got 500 of these items and they sold them in 3 days and made $50,000, and it's so fantastic. I mean, first of all, I'm like, how true is all of that? But second of all but they have that following and how long it has taken them to build that up. And to put in that work. So yes, you're looking at someone's post and it's like, wow, that's amazing, but it's a lot of work behind that.
And I hate people like that. They'll tell you, like, it's like Harry Tornado. Josh and Haley will go on Whatnot. And they'll get premium prices. They got a big following on Whatnot. They're sponsoring all this stuff. And people go, well, they just had it easy over there. They folks, I subbed to him when he had like 10 or 12,000 followers on YouTube. Josh and Haley have worked their ass off to build their site, build their following up, and then to expect it, there's people who follow them and love them and watch them to not go other places and buy them in. It's just ridiculous. You're just being at that point, you're not being critical. You're not looking at this with the right lenses. You're a hater.
Yeah.
If you,
and we don't, and once again, I mean, people always like, we're all on different reseller groups and we follow things. And I feel like it's mostly people whining. I have to purge myself sometimes and stay off of it. Cause it's just like, me, everything's going wrong. And this is so bad. I'm just like, come on. Like, there is so much positive out there. I don't need to hear your negativity all the time. I mean, let's be positive and let's keep moving and let's help each other. I always love the people that scope out other people's listings and they're like, I can't believe they did this. And why are they've listed this too high? It's their item. They can, if they want to list that coffee mug for $50,000, then great, let them list it. It doesn't matter. It's, why are you wasting your time? So
it's, man, it is a epidemic right now. A lot of it too is people can't accept the fact that they have done something wrong. When the great eBay plunge of April this year, when they started switching the search around and they were telling you, they've been giving you indications that they're going to change things. And yes, does search have difficulties and it's not perfect and it's working on, but the first thing is, there's a lot of very righteous indignation. I sell what I sell and I'm going to sell it. I don't care what eBay says. They can't make me change. And then a couple months later, they go, eBay's broken. They're trying to kill me. And they're still not accepting the fact that they might be part of the problem, that nobody wants that damn 8-track anymore that you keep forcing in front of people's faces.
Yeah.
No matter if you've got 100 of them listed, nobody still wants it. And it costs computer space and everything else to keep showing 8 tracks that nobody wants.
Yes.
And they can't accept the fact that they're part of the problem. I think the biggest thing to sales, and people can come at me if they want to, the biggest problem with most people's sales is your pricing is fucked up. You won't too much for an item. You saw it sell for somebody 90 days ago got $100 for this item and it's only worth $60, but you think that you need $110 because they got 100. It's the Amazon thing that people are just insane. It's still a $60 item at the end of the day, folks. It's only worth what somebody's going to pay for it. And for a lot of our problems, but I put it on sale. So it's at the $100 now where that person got it. You're waiting for that unicorn to come by. And I'm sorry, they shot the unicorn down in Auburn at that damn stadium down there. What a terrible place. Right on the Indian burial ground. Terrible.
I call it the Antiques Roadshow syndrome. So yes, I am old. I love Antiques. For anyone else out there, Antiques Roadshow fan, what? Come on, Todd. Thank you. I got it. Yes. And I love the shows I love the ones they've been doing. I think basically since COVID. I don't know if they did it before, but they show old episodes and then they say like, what is it today? Is it higher or lower? Yeah, and I love them because some of them are like, it's worth $20,000. What? And then all of a sudden it's like 10 years later, it's worth $3. And
then they do the sound. Womp womp.
Wah, wah, wah. So I love it. I call it the Antiques Roadshow syndrome is because they show it on TV and it's like, this is the rare, look at this coffee mug. It's so rare. Look how, oh my gosh, it's worth so much money. And there's 1,000 other people at home going, I have one of those in my attic. And they pull it out and they put it up for sale and all of a sudden you flooded the market. So yeah, it sold one time for that much, but it doesn't mean it will again. And I think it's also really funny with people who aren't resellers. And so I have so many friends and family that come to me and they're like, hey, can you sell this for me? And first I'm like, I don't have time. But they also go, well, I looked on eBay and it's listed for $500. It must be worth a lot. I'm like, you can list things for whatever price you want. It doesn't mean it sells for that price. You have to look at the sold comparisons. Yeah. And then we start going through the solds. I'm like, $2, $3, $2. I'm like, yeah, it's not worth 500. Sorry. Just donate it. That's the way to do it, is get rid of it. So.
Hey, Barry. Good morning, sir. Hope you're doing well this morning. But it's, people are so, they think they're entitled to something. They don't get out of their own way. They don't do it right. They blame others, and they never learn. They never figure out they made a mistake to learn from. Not only do you not want to make mistakes, they don't realize they're making one to learn from, because God damn.
Woohoo!
I probably sold another one. And I've sold 3 remotes during the show. I am rich. There will not be another show next week because I'm going to.
Except now you have to go find them. Can you find them is the problem, because you're not using Binin. You need to find them.
So when Jacob lists my kid lists the remotes, he puts a number in the custom SKU. They're in a box, and so I can find the remotes.
Yeah,
that's one of the few I can find. I know the remotes are in a box in there.
So in the chat, Martha says that she found the book that y'all are doing on YouTube, and if you can stand the voice that's reading it, you can listen to it for free. If you don't like reading and just want to listen while you work, then it's on YouTube, she said.
I love reading a good book. I'm an English major, so I love it, but I just don't have the time anymore. So I'm definitely all about audiobooks right now.
Yeah, and it's in all the audio, so you can, if somebody wants to. We're just gonna. I've already picked the second book. Anybody who's got any suggestions, just send me a message or put them in the chat. I'll write them down. I think I've got like 9 or 10 books, just to get people in a different mindset and to get them thinking about. The first one's Profit First. The next one's more about systems. What the heck?
50 Shades of Grey, wasn't that one? Something.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
I forgot the title. Sorry.
We were gonna do that one, but Harlan got engaged, so now we're not gonna do that one anymore.
I'm married, supposedly. I don't know what happened.
What?
No.
What?
I know ring day is not on Christmas Eve, Ron, but thanks.
So the second book is gonna be The Laws of Success. It's supposedly about processes. And
that can kind of be like 50 Shades of Grey, because he's very successful, billionaire. Sorry, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, so that's the second. The second book is The Laws of Success. I've got Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Atomic Habits, Half Retired, One Thing, Clockwork, Gonzo Capitalism. So that's so far. Cool. But just something different. I'm not afraid to try things different, even if they, whatever.
Man,
try it, and if it fails, I will.
Even who's here?
Heather's even in the chat, yeah. And we got Thrifty Santa, Barry. He said he's doing much better and is able to attend to all of his Santa gigs so far. So that is amazing.
Nice.
That is good.
Yeah, because people don't realize how important that is. Whenever you play Santa every year, that is a significant amount of your income.
Mm-hmm.
What Lag was a guy? Is Lag a guy? I'm confused.
Lag is whatever Lag wants to be. It depends on what the conversation is what Lag is.
I'm confused. Totally confused.
Now Lag is back to telling you his mom is making pancakes again.
Oh, Lag, hey. I mean, Mom's making pancakes? No, I'm just kidding.
And block.
Yeah, Lag. You didn't make it through the show before she blocked you.
No, you missed all when you was gone. We got into all the block stuff.
Yeah, that's but it's been nice having you here this morning. You're a breath of fresh air from
Yeah.
the craziness that resellers are. Uh, it's folks find people to listen to that inspire you. Find people. That's why doing the books and stuff. You know, we need you need to get away from all that craziness and the reseller channels that are just doom and gloom and telling you the world's coming to. Remember, I keep telling y'all and reminding y'all that a lot of these new YouTubers are also new resellers that came from the pandemic, and they started when you could sell this for like $20 because it's new and improved box fixer. When it's really just a $2 can of spray paint from Walmart.
Yes,
You can even sell that. And now as the economy is hitting the skids. Well, it's been on the skids, but it's really hitting and things are tough and people's money is tighter and inflation we're 3 years into inflation from hell. And the interest rates are up and people don't pay attention to the market, the economy and all this stuff. And they're still demanding these. Oh my God, I had to pay $5 for a loaf of bread. So I should get $10 for that can right there. That's only still worth $2.
Yeah.
It's a lot of our problems are our problems, and you got to get about understanding what's going on.
If you sit there and you surround yourself with negative people and all you're doing is watching negative videos and all of this, then that's going to be your mindset and you're not going to be successful. So, I mean, we are not, butterflies and unicorns and everything's great. La, la, la. There's nothing wrong. I mean, I'm happy to talk about my mistakes. And I'm happy to talk about, the bad decisions I've made and things like that too. But you got to talk about them in a positive way. And this is what I learned from them. And I'm not doing that again. And we're moving on. It didn't ruin my life. My life is not over. It's fine. I might have lost money on them, but that's not my life. So,
But I can't tell you about my mistakes without telling you about the successes they led to, because you build off of what you did wrong and what you're doing wrong. And so many people don't see it that way. And it's just, you can't, there are just a lot of mistakes on the way to success. I mean, it is so true that you do not lose until you quit. You don't lose until you quit. Folks, look at the NFL right now. They're all chasing a Super Bowl. They're a bunch of grown men chasing a damn football around, making a lot of money, but they all will trade lots of things to have that Super Bowl ring. How many undefeated teams are out there? How many of those teams of hand-picked teams with all these experts and the greatest in their field, how many of them are undefeated?
Yeah.
0.
I know.
Yeah.
They just aren't.
Todd, I like your collection of sunglasses down there.
Yeah, I'm selling sunglasses this week.
I like it.
The future's real bright.
I go through such a variety of stuff.
I mean,
absolutely.
So bright.
You need some makeup brushes? I got you covered.
There you go.
You need some tape to hold your body together? I got you.
Yeah, I need some titty tape.
This is titty tape. Yep, that's what I got in there. From Hollywood.
But the one thing I'll tell you, find somebody. You guys know I love Alabama. I will to the day I die. But Saban is just a master motivator, a master of a lot of these things. And I can sit there and tell you, and every one of his press conferences, I've listened to him so much what he's going to say. But he is talking about, find somebody like that. He's talking life lessons. And he's got a group of young men. I mean, folks don't realize the kid that caught the pass in the end zone to beat Auburn. Sorry, RG, y'all lost. That kid's 19 years old. The kid who threw the ball to him is 20. He is molding young men. He's trying to give them the skills to get through life. And he's talking about processes. He's talking about working towards a standard. He is talking about all these things, about the way you do things and doing things the right way and having integrity with what you do. All these things, he is an incredible, and even as good as he is about it, he still brings in speaker after speaker to talk to these guys because he doesn't know it all. He's not experienced at all, and he can't reach everybody the same way. And it's amazing. Find somebody like that in real life that you enjoy listening to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Really,
I love. It's kind of like your book idea. I mean, there's so much good, positive stuff out there, and things to learn from. So, and people to learn from, and I would say one of the things that I learned in business when I was more in the corporate world is that there are so many people out there who have been there, done that, and they're very willing to help you if you just ask. Just ask for someone to say, "Will you be my mentor?" First of all, when someone says that to you, you're like, you want me? Yeah, I don't know that much. It's amazing that someone asks you that, and most people will say yes. And shoot big. You don't have to have someone on the equal level. Go to that CEO of that big company down the street and say, hey, will you be my mentor? And you'd be surprised. Most people would say yes. Now, once again, don't be creepy about it. Don't stalk people on the internet. Be like, will you be my mentor? And block.
Blunt.
You are a blocker. What is going on?
but I mean, that's what Scott's doing. That's what all these shows are. Is we have been there, we have done that. We're very, very willing to help. Now we all have short amount of time, but we will try to give you that time as much as we possibly can and
there you
help
go.
you do that. It's all about, yes, thank you, thanks, Ken.
Don't be Kent creepy. You got to be normal.
But I think that was one of the things that pushed me out of my comfort zone was I was part of a business group, and they encourage you, like, go talk to somebody that you respect and ask them to be their mentor. And I was all nervous, and I'm like, what's going to happen? And the lady first of all was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you would think that. It's so appreciative that you're going to say that I could be your mentor. And we became fast friends and still are. And I've learned so much from those people. So just put yourself out there and ask. And it could be online, it could be local. Just ask people for their help. And most good people are willing to help you. So,
But it's very true. You become the people you surround yourself with, and I'm telling you, it's so important to have 4 or 5 people around you that are, they're positive. I've talked about this all the time. You need somebody who is at a lower level than you. You need somebody that's at a higher level. You need a couple that are the same, and you need to be a willing participant in this group of friends you have, and because it's all for the betterment of each other. It's you can learn, folks. Big John, he's not here today. He gave me a lot of grief in the chat yesterday, and I'm like, man, if I've got a question about some big business, John will give me the time. He will take a call no matter what. He is very, very giving person, and from what he's learned running, what's he going to sell, 7 or 8 million on Amazon this year? Some insane number.
yeah.
When we met, I was the bigger seller, and there's nothing wrong. I'm still the lifestyle seller. I still enjoy what I do. But it's you got to have people around, folks.
Yeah.
You've got to have that new person to ask you, well, what about this? You forget about these things. You forget about what about this?
Well, and that's the other thing is help and turn around and help somebody else, right? I mean, you know something more than somebody else, and turn around and help them. And we always say, I'm a part of a women's group here in town, women business owners, and we always say, don't give a hand up, not a handout, because pull them up to your level, reach down and help that next person up behind you, because someone helped you up where you are. You didn't do it all by yourself. We are all part of this big, wonderful community. We're all working together. We're all helping each other. So turn around and help that next person, pull them up with you. So that's.
But I challenge you. We're at the end of the show, but I challenge you folks to change your attitude, change, And actually, I think we need to get to the point where we call these negative people out. It's just, I get that some of the stuff is to get YouTube clicks and that kind of stuff, but they're doing damage. These people are looking for help. It's tough times everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm very fortunate to be a reseller and to have a platform. And I love what I do. I love the fact that my scheduling is me and my lifestyle. And I want to help others at least see that it's available for them. And just telling them negative all the time and how the world's coming to them, and instead of being sad with them and telling them, oh my God, your sales suck. You sell the worst stuff. It's more important to say, man, people are having a lot of success with things. Here's some ideas to do to work on versus you suck. You're the worst picker ever. Oh my God, you're terrible. So Rachel, Leah does not have a channel. She's on the Instagram at Paperclip and Binin app, or to Instagram. and then the website is paperclip.com. She sells 30% of her stuff. They receive truckloads and they sell bulk on their website and on Poshmark Live.
And the app is an inventory app.
Yeah, we have an inventory app. We sell bulk inventory. We also just onesie twosie sell to everybody, just like everybody else. So,
if you after all this time, and she's talked as much as me, if you want to hear even more from this wonderful young lady, she's starting her own podcast. There's links on her website. You said you had to have so many published, and then you'll be on the podcast site.
We literally just published it, I think last week, and so we have 3 episodes on our website. But then you have to publish an episode, and then you have to go apply to be on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Google Podcasts. So we're going through that process, and hopefully in the next week or 2 we'll be out on all the channels. That's kind of this is a little bit of that's a whole new world I'm learning. And once again, I mean, I'm the newbie in this world, and I'm reaching out to people who do podcasts. Hey, can you help me? How do you do this? What do you suggest? So
I'm expecting to learn this well because I've had a lot of those ideas. I might be your newbie next.
Well, we'll learn from each other because I do need. Well, we have a little bit on YouTube. Mainly, we're putting our bloopers up on YouTube because there's a lot of bloopers in our podcast that we thankfully get to edit out versus these live ones. So, but yeah, we're trying to get out there. It's just us, and people look at us like, oh, you're so big, and I don't think I'm that big, but I'm bigger than somebody else, and I'm helping them come up. And then hopefully, like you're dragging me into this world, and I appreciate that as much and your help on this.
So Jeremy, I'll explain to y'all for the last time, you don't always have to have a cereal box. Sometimes honey buns work.
I can't wait for your next video. I want to see this stencil video that comes out. That's going to be great.
Put your Poshmark link up too, if you have it, so people can see it again.
And you don't have to save money on tape. I use hot glue, so you don't need tape. So yeah, if you don't have a Poshmark account, that'll give you some money off, but it'll also get you to her. Your paperclip 47 is your Poshmark closet.
It's my Poshmark username. Yeah, it's like an eBay store. They call it a Poshmark closet. It's the same concept. It's your, where you sell all your stuff. So, and then we do sell bulk inventory. So if you want to test that out first, go to Poshmark, look at my closet. It's the exact same stuff that you'll be getting. And check it out, and then we do sell bulk inventory as well. So, and then I'll put up the
code there that will get you a little money off.
Yeah, that's the code for Paperclip 47. But then also, I say if you sign up for the app, if you sign up for Binin, you get 30 days free trial, and then I also give you our Black Friday 10% off coupon that we just sent out this week. So it's only good for like this week, but that will give you a little bit more. That's just for our Binin users. So.
Well, thank you so much.
That's going crazy.
You have to give our best to Collins because he evidently either both children are no longer in the house or he has actually done a good job because we only heard the young man one time.
They are both, the 2-year-old is out. And so both my children, the big one, the adult one, and my 2-year-old one are both gone right now. So that was very nice. Yeah. Thankfully it was not live yet, but my 2-year-old came running, screaming in here with no pants on somewhere. Yeah. We had that incident happen right before we went live.
So tell Collins I'm going to get him to do the same thing because I think it.
You want him to run in here with no pants on?
Oh, you beat me to it, dang it.
I don't ever want that to happen. But I think it's important for people see the practical side of what you guys do, but they also can learn. He is such a cool vision. He sees bigger picture, and he's a cool guy to talk to. But then, and also very realistic because here's a great example. I'm thumbing through books, looking at an estate sale that we ran into 2 weeks ago. That guy had all these engineering books and all this stuff, and he's looking at them and he's making a stack, and I'm scanning them. I've got a stack, and he's like, "This sucks. I'll be right back." And he comes back, and he's got the lady of the estate sale on the last day of the estate sale, and these books he's bought them off. I think $10. He's bought the whole damn wall of books for $10. Yes. He just sees things. He's like, "Yeah, I'm tired." And then I'm like, "What are you gonna do with him?" He goes, "Oh, we got a friend. I'm giving all these to her." And
No, they're in our bedroom right now. I'm like stepping over boxes of books. So, so that's your fault. Thank you very much. I can blame you for that.
I kept 3 of them, so you got 3 less to trip over. So there you go.
Thank you. I appreciate that. No, it once again, it's partnering yourself, whether it's in, in marriage and in life, but also in business. It's surrounding yourself with people who are positive and surrounding yourself with people who have different strengths than you. If we were all exactly the same, we all did the same thing, it would be very, very boring. So it's nice to put people in your life that have those strengths and that you can help as well. So.
All right, everybody, look forward to seeing the next video in the box series. The next one's gonna be a good one. And then I've got like 8 or 9. If we can't make fun of ourselves as resellers and what we all do, then what the heck is there?
Exactly.
Right. We'll see you. We'll see you Friday night. Roll Tide.
Happy reselling.
Roll Tide. Beat them dogs.
Bye.